I'm a big believer that you have to understand what private industry has been doing over the last century or so. If you look at Google, you look at Facebook, you look at these companies, they're more than companies. They don't just go and make sprockets and cars or something and they compete in a fair market. They're ending up getting a lot of control and power over foundational resources. So if we look at the prior centuries, like Standard Oil, it got control over the energy industry. And then we said, boy, that's probably not a good idea. We should do something about it. Now when we look at Google, Facebook, these other companies, they've gained so much control over information, thought, speech, and other foundational resources, hosting. They actually can define an entire marketplace and decide who gets to compete and who doesn't. It's relevant to cryptocurrencies and the blockchain industry because at the end of the day, it's the liberation of those resources. That's what we're really doing here. To separate the wheat from the chaff, we're talking about a resource-based economy. And the point of decentralization is saying that maybe nobody should be in control of our freedom of expression or commerce or association. So that requires a fundamentally different way of interfacing with those marketplaces.
How do we compete economically on the world stage without threatening the privacy rights of Americans going forward? Because this is a very dangerous slope if not handled correctly.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm deeply concerned by social credit, deeply concerned by some of the proposals for CBDCs, because you can have transactional discrimination against any ethnic group you want or any political philosophy you want. So the point is the algorithms ought to be built out in an open source process, transparent and available to all. And people have to have the ability to opt in instead of opt out. So the power of our industry is we didn't have a government agency or some central actor say, oh, here's cryptocurrencies. It was the tireless work of millions of people, many of which never met each other, around the world, coming together voluntarily and building a new economy worth trillions of dollars. That's the way we ought to think about it, not how do we create some government agency or how do we create some central bank or central algorithm that'll control everything. And then you ask yourself about the outcomes you desire. So it's clear that there's been some problems over the last 13 years and we're working our way through that. But at the same time, we have created value for millions of people and we shouldn't lose that sight.